community support, they have parental support, and we should be seeing scores that are significantly higher than the state averages. As a school board member, I would work on improving education in two ways. One is to stop playing pass the blame. Right now, it's very easy to blame the focus on testing on No Child Left Behind. But the truth is that all schools in the country are subject to that, and some of them are doing quite well. We need to look at what those schools are doing. We also need to really hold people accountable. That means holding the students accountable for doing the work. We should not have social promotion. You shouldn't get points for seat time or showing up. We need to hold teachers accountable for the performance of their students and for making sure that all of the material is covered. And we need to hold administrators responsible for the performance of the teachers in their schools, and for ensuring that our curricula is determined by what's good for the children long term and not what's good for this year's test. Thank you.
Okay, Roger, it's your turn.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Betsy. And on behalf of the Adams County Democratic Committee, I do want to thank Betsy for really doing the lion's share of the work to set all this up, and I do appreciate that. Betsy knew I was going to be out of the country for quite a bit, and she really put most of this together, and I'm very appreciative for all of your work on this. This is a nonpartisan issue. The school board is. We all care, and we care equally. And we're going to start with whom? Who would like to ask the first question tonight? This lady right here.
I'm going to ask the board, how would you enforce the core curriculum demands that you want our students to have? Not what the state mandates. What you feel are the core curriculums are writing ability, logical thought, math and history, and of course English. Aside from what the state mandates, our core curriculum needs. How would each of you go about demanding that the board fulfill that obligation?
We're going to start with Holly.
One of the reasons I personally believe is because of the testing. We are inundated with numerous state mandates that our teachers are burdened with, and that's something I think we need to, as citizens, need to go to our legislators. Our educators are being held back because they do have to teach to the test in some instances. But as far as ensuring that we are offering a quality education, it's communication. Communication with the parents in the home, communication with each student, with each teacher in the classroom, with the administrators in each building. There has to be an open line of communication. If that breaks down, it won't work.
Thank you. I would look to enforcing the core curriculum needs by looking first at how some of the best school districts in the country are doing it. What are their practices? These are the best practices I keep talking about that we need to emulate. Yes, places like Montgomery County in Maryland have a different demographic than we have, but they have many things that we can modify to fit our demographic. We need to look at how we can do best. Then we can improve. We cannot improve by just doing the same old thing.
Kathy?
I take a little different angle on it and say that one is that the board doesn't enforce anything related to curriculum. The board sets policy to allow the educators to do their thing. The board only has one employee, that's Mr. Redding. So what the board has to do is hold him, the other administrators and teachers accountable. The job of the board is not the day-to-day management of the district.
But there are some schools who maintain 87, 93% on scores, and they get good SATs as well. And so I'm gonna suggest to you that we visit those school districts and find out what they do. How do they maintain focus? Talk to the teachers. I talked to a couple teachers. I said, what's the one thing, if I get on the board, what's the one thing you want me to do? And she said, I'd like to have some respect. And I thought, what an easy thing to give a teacher. That doesn't seem that hard. And so we need to give the teachers what they need, but we need to also hold them accountable. We need to get the administrators in the classroom and provide feedback, meaningful feedback to teachers. If they're not performing well, they need to be told that. I think if everyone gets involved, we can do this.
I'd like to go back to something that Catherine said about not being involved in the day-to-day operations of the school district. And that is correct. However, it is the role of the school board to hold the administrators accountable. And I believe that a good administrator understands that ensuring the success of the children in their school is their primary responsibility. So I would suggest that one way to do that would be to look at perhaps more frequent meetings, but certainly expecting the administrators to ensure that all of the students, a significant standard, really are doing the core curriculum. I believe that's one area where introducing merit pay for administrators would be a critical part. Administrators should have specific goals, and those goals should include ensuring that core subjects are covered.
My question has to do with block scheduling, which is compatible to the question answer you just gave. And have you given much thought about it, the pros and cons of block scheduling? And I don't mean to sway your opinion, but as a parent with 3 children who have graduated and one who's a senior graduating this year, I found that at least 3 of my 4 children, block scheduling has caused a real issue, and in my opinion, a detriment, especially to their math, to the math studies, where they wouldn't have it for a long period of time. And sort of if you don't use it, you lose it. That's what I found as far as block scheduling. Also, up until I got really busy in the last 5 months, I was doing a lot of subbing at the senior high. In fact, my phone rang 3 times today. And I've also found that even though block scheduling hypothetically gives you long periods to utilize, I find sometimes the periods are too long to keep the student's attention focused on that matter. So even though I obviously have somewhat of an opinion, I'd like to hear your opinion in relation to the last question.
The concept of block scheduling at the high school is actually it's 5 subjects now because of what we've done in a revision. 5 subjects in the fall semester and 5 subjects in the spring semester. And those periods, 4 of the periods are 80 minutes long. Then 1 period is 45 minutes long. And students complete anywhere between 8 and 9 credits per year.
The one thing that I know that is important, no matter how you schedule, is that if you don't know what the teacher in the next grade for that subject is going to need, and teach so that the student has that as the background going in,